Ahead of the launch of the Central Bank of Nigeria's digital currency, the official website for the eNaira went live at the weekend and recorded over 1 million hits in the space of 24 hours. The website promises easier financial transactions for the users of eNaira, offers a platform for peer-to-peer payments, and allows customers to transfer funds from their bank accounts to their eNaira wallets. The eNaira is CBN's digital currency that provides a unique form of money denominated in the nation's legal tender, the Naira. It serves as both a medium of exchange and a store of value, offering better payment prospects in retail transactions when compared to cash payments. It has an exclusive operational structure that is both remarkable and nothing like other forms of central bank money. For more on the impact of the eNaira, we're now being joined by Johnson Chukwu, founder and managing director of Cowry Asset Management Limited. Welcome to the morning show, Mr. Chukwu. Chief Chukwu. When you're here, you're Chief Chukwu.
Yeah, Jenny Rivera.
I am. Good morning.
Good
Lovely
morning.
to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Well, Chief. Chief. You know, in Nigeria, you have to.
Yes, there's chief and there's high chief.
Differentiate. There's chief, there's Chief. So Chief Chukwu, it's good to have you here on the morning show after such a long time. Okay, digital currency. What exactly are we dealing with? Is it a legal tender, an alternative to Naira, or is it a legal document like the check, or the credit card system? And I raised a question yesterday. What are the risks involved?
Okay, thank you once again for having me. Digital currency is basically the same legal tender of a digital currency issued by the central bank, because you now have what we call central bank digital currencies. And those are basically same currencies of a country issued by the central bank, but in a digitized format. What you mean by digitized format is not in coins and it's not in notes. It's in virtual format, so that you can't physically hold it, but you have it as a store of value, you have it as a means of payment, and it's backed by the good faith of the central bank that for every unit of that currency you hold, the central bank can give you physical Naira or any other form of exchange for that currency.
I talked about risks. What are the possible risks?
Okay, the risks are basically that one, let me mention the most critical risk that Nigerians have to understand. If you lose your wallet, which means if you lose the code, the access code to your wallet, you're going to find it difficult to retrieve your money. Two, the concerns at the national level is that one, digital currencies, but in most instances, private money, have been used as means of financing illegal transactions. But this time around, we're talking of central bank issued and managed digital currency. So it's different from when you talk of private monies, which you call the cryptocurrencies. So that risk that it could be used in a way that is not traceable is minimal. There are also other issues are inoperability, which means, are you sure that the technology is such that there will be a handshake between one user and the other user, so that when you move your money from your wallet to my wallet, it can easily come, despite the fact we use different accounts. So those are some of the concerns. And then the technology is still being understood. I mean, nobody has a perfect understanding of the technology. And then central bank is taking it one step at a time. It's not going to just open up the whole banking system to digital currency. And that's why you got defined limits to the daily transaction limits that each user of the digital currency can execute at the onset of implementation.
Right. What then is the difference between your eNaira wallet and your bank account? And why should people who already have a bank account go for the eNaira wallets?
The difference between your eNaira wallet is that, one, you can effect transactions instantaneously. You do not need any of your banking instruments like your check, your debit card to effect transactions. With your wallet, you can actually make payment to a merchant. You can make transfer, what you call person-to-person transfer, peer-to-peer transfer. You can make payment to any other service provider. And then you can also transfer money back to your bank account. So you are not held back by the instrumentality or the instruments of a normal bank account, which you have your check or you have your ATM card to be able to effect transactions. So that's the key difference. So you have faster speed of execution of transactions. And again, you also have the fact that each transaction, when you execute it, is conclusive in the sense that there is no issue of reconciliation or that. You know, sometimes when you make a payment with your POS, you have the issue of the money is hanging, I've not received the money, I've been debited, and the other party has not received the money. You won't have that when you talk of the eNaira, because once you execute the transaction, it is immediately received by the other party.
So let's talk a little bit about the value now. What would it be benchmarked against? I mean, you talked about private currency, cryptocurrency. When they bought it, there was a certain value because it was benchmarked against the dollar, and it grew over time. So will the value be benchmarked against the current value of the Naira? 2, will it be allowed to take a life of its own, probably to grow at its pace and to be able to find its value? 3, what will be the effect of inflation on it?
Okay, in the first place, the eNaira will be marked to the Naira at the same parity, which means there will be one eNaira will be equal to 1 Naira, and therefore you have that parity. As it relates to whether it will be allowed to assume a life of its own, remember that this currency is issued by the central bank, and what the central bank does is to manage the volume of currency in circulation. So it's going to be part of the integral volume of currency in circulation, in the sense that if you have, for instance, if you have 12 trillion Naira in circulation for now, and you have 4 trillion held as eNaira, that means physical currency will only be 8 trillion. And that simply means that you are not going to have an expansion in the volume of money in circulation. So for that reason, it might not have a life of its own, like what you have with private money, where it's all dependent on what volume is mined and what price people are going to pay, are ready to pay for each of the cryptocurrencies. But remember that those cryptocurrencies are not backed by the good faith of any country. They are not backed by any asset, which is what backs when you used to have the gold standard, which way you said for every unit of a currency is backed by gold, but now it's backed by dollar reserve. So it's not backed by any of these key fallback position as it looks. If everything fails, I can go to the issue of this currency and the person, they will give me back the same value in another physical asset. So for that reason, you're going to see parity maintained. What the eNaira the benefit will be that it will improve on the speed of transactions, it reduce the cost of financial transactions, encourage even homebound remittances or domestic remittances from Nigerian diasporas, because they're not going to go through the chains of you go to Western Union or any of these money transfer organizations to be able to move your money. With your e-wallet, you can move money to anywhere from anybody. So these are some of the, but in terms of parity, it will maintain parity with the local currency.
So obviously, it's inflation at the local currencies.
Absolutely.
Okay. Yesterday, when we discussed this subject, I was saying that the Central Bank of Nigeria will need to do a lot of public sensitization, public enlightenment. Because one question would be, for dinosaurs like me, how is this different from the existing electronic transactions that we have? That you can do on your phone, that you can do on your iPad. So what's the difference between the e-wallet and what already exists now? And how will it promote the idea of financial inclusion? Because from what you have said so far, it looks like the same thing that we're dealing with. You just transfer money from your phone to... So what is the main thing about this e-wallet?
Okay, one of the things we have to bear in mind is that, like I just mentioned that, if you do a transaction with through a POS or through your card, there's a possibility the transaction will not be conclusive. That will not operate under the digital currency because you have the ledger under which is distributed ledger system. It's such a technological platform that will not allow transactions to hang. So one thing is that once you effect a transaction, it's done immediately.
Again, how can you guarantee that in Nigeria?
How can you guarantee that? Because basic thing is that you are talking about the technological platform where it is riding. And as long as that technological platform is what obtains anywhere in the world, then our technological platform will not be different from what obtains elsewhere. But apart from that, when you talk of financial inclusiveness, because that's one of the key elements of the eNaira, is that you don't need to have a bank account to have your e-wallet. Unlike the current platform, what you have is that you must have an account for you to have a POS attached to your account. I mean, a debit card or a credit card attached to your account. You don't need to have that. So the next phase of the rollout of the eNaira, because the first phase will involve rolling out to those who already have bank accounts. But subsequently, the next phase will be inclusive of those who do not have bank accounts, which means anywhere in you are, wherever you are, once you have your wallet, you can receive money, you can make payments. So in effect, you're going to have people who ordinarily are located in places where they would ordinarily have had access to financial system. And this eNaira will give them opportunity to execute financial transactions and store their financial assets in their wallets.
So how do we go about getting the eNaira?
Okay, in the first place,
I'm going to get. You know, right?
From the 4th of October, when it go live, I think they have shifted that to 4th of October instead of 1st of October. If you have your phone, so it's either you go to Google Play, or you go to your Apple Store, and you download what they call Speed Wallet. When you download Speed Wallet, you now go through a process of validation, which means once you download the Speed Wallet, you put in your BVN number, you put in your email, you put in your phone number, and then you send an instruction. And once it validates that that's your email and your password, then it go through a process of that validation. It will come back to you and send you an e-wallet application, which you will now store. Of course, once you store that, you are ready to go. So you can now move money from your bank account. You would have selected your bank. You can move money from your bank account to your wallet. And once you move money to your wallet, you can do anything with your money, provided you operate within the limits, transaction limits that are currently specified.
So what happens to the pre-existing mobile money agents that have wallets, the likes of Paga, the rest? Will they have to be integrated? Yes,
I believe they'll be integrated into the e-wallet platform, because when we talk of people who are in unbanked areas, sometimes those people will have physical cash, and they'll go to those money transfer agents or the likes and give them their physical cash, and those people will help them load that cash into their wallet. So all those agents will be integrated into the e-wallet platform.
Okay. Anyway, sounds interesting, but we'd like to see how it works out. And apparently you think that this is great innovation, not so?
Well, what I think is that it's a trend that we cannot shy away from. You see, the world is going digital. I mean, your phone today, your phone contains your camera, your music system, your video system. All of these have been digitized. Your newspaper, people are reading the digital versions of it. So everything is going digital. People are no longer comfortable carrying money. I saw a clip of Dangote said, look, the day he realized he was a rich man was when he went to withdraw 10 million naira cash. He put it in his boot, drove back, slept over it, and brought it back to the next day to the bank. But I can tell you that not even Goldman Sachs will pay you $10 million today, because everything had gone digital. Today, I can make any payment to you without going to withdraw cash.
Well, it's called the age of convergence. We're in the age of convergence. Thank you very much. Chief. Don't say Chukwu.
Maybe I come to your village and that Chief.
For joining us on The Morning Show.